How are you, Morgan? You all right?
Yeah, good. You?
Not too bad, thank you. I'll kick off then. So just one for the boys then. Obviously, I've known you since under 11, so a long time. I know what your journey's been like, but just for me and the benefit of the boys, in terms of your journey from all the way through the academy to now being a first team player, are there ever any points or times in your journey where you had any doubts about whether you get to where you wanted to be? And if so, how did you overcome them? And how do you find yourself at the point now where you're a first team player and kind of starting a different point of that journey?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned it earlier in the previous Zoom call. I think I've been quite lucky sort of under 16s onwards and throughout my scholarship. I had a manager in Dean Austin who I got in with very well. And then even sort of with Braids and when I was under 16s, Mark being the youth team manager. So I always seemed to get on with the managers quite well. So I think I've been quite lucky in that sense. But I think maybe after under 13s, I think when we started to get 2-year contracts, I think I remember that sort of being the hardest time through my academy. I think a lot of the players were all at the sort of same level, and it could have went either way really. So to get that under 13 and 14 contract, I think probably was the hardest through that academy, as I didn't know what was going to happen really.
What would your advice be? And then I'll let the boys' questions go. What would your advice be for the boys who are at 13s and 14s now and envisage playing for the first team? What advice would you give them when you reflect back on that period of how to cope with this period in their journey?
I think not sort of worry about too much into the future. I think when I was at that level, obviously, I wanted to be a professional footballer. I wanted to get the next contract, but I think what I did quite well is just focus on day by day each game. Just enjoying football, enjoying being able to improve, and just have fun with your mates playing football. Really, I think that's what I did quite well when I was younger. And then as you get older, then you start to think about the future more. But at that age, yeah, just enjoy your football.
Top man.
Good. Well, I'm going to put Tom Cartwright. You're on first. You're the first question. This is a bit more laid back. This one for you, Morg.
Nice.
As a young player, what's it like to be on FIFA?
Okay. So I was on FIFA last year as well. I think wasn't great when you got put into the worst ultimate team of the year. Sort of the worst left mid on the game, I think I was last year. But yeah, it's quite good. It was a weird feeling last year when I sort of packed myself and playing myself. But other than that, I don't really play myself because I'm not great on it, to be honest. So, but yeah, it's good. It's sort of something you always sort of wish you want to be on FIFA. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
Get them stats up, mate.
Yeah. Cheers, Tom. Thanks for that. MPR, you're next. Although Shane sort of stole half your question, but I think the second half of it's quite good.
Yeah. What's your ultimate goal in your footballing career? Where do you want to get to?
Ultimate goal, I think I've thought about this quite a lot actually. I think realistically, I want to be playing, championship football. Obviously, everyone wants to play in the Premier League. I think that's everyone's aim, but realistically for me, sort of high League One, Championship, which I think that I can get to with help of people and myself being able to improve as much as I can until then.
Cheers, Max. Thank you for that. Who's next? Elliot's next. Let's unmute you. Els, your question, mate.
Okay, so like, were your friends supportive of your commitment to becoming a footballer, and did they understand when you had to miss out on things?
So a lot of my mates are through football anyways. A few of them now don't play as much, but I think because they're from footballing backgrounds, then yeah, they understand. A lot of them take the mick sometimes when I go out and don't drink or anything, but they know the reason why, and yeah, they are supportive. So I think if you have a good group of mates around you, then they always help, and even advice and stuff that they always give some good messages to you.
Happy hours?
Yep.
Good. Right, I did see it next. I'm going to unmute him, but I think your question might have been nicked a little bit, Rubes. But Ruben, it's yours. Did you want to?
I'll change it.
Go for it.
Were there any points in your leading up to becoming a professional where you thought you weren't going to make it?
I don't think so. No, I always believed in myself. I always knew from a young age, I always knew I was a good player. And with the right coaching, with the right mentality, I knew I could be a footballer. Every year I had to work for a new contract at Northampton, and every year I got one. So I kept improving every year, and I believed I could get one at the end of that year. So I think that the main thing is believing in yourself, have the confidence to do it, and you will.
What did you do differently to everyone else in the scholarship which got you the pro?
I think 7 of us of my year, got a contract, so we're all good players and at similar levels. I think one thing for me, no matter who the manager is, I think I always sort of had a good character around the building. I was always smiling, always talking to people, which I think helped me a lot. I understand people, different personalities. Some people quiet, some people aren't. But I think having the confidence to, talk to people. When I was a young player, I talked to the first teamers, talked to the managers, and it sort of gets yourself known. So I think having a good character around that environment is always useful.
Is that what you would say because Jack's coming in next year full time?
Mm-hmm.
The boys who are on here are coming in full time. Is that what you'd say is probably one of the most important things to make sure they're really confident around?
Yeah. I think as soon as I got in, I was involved in the first team almost straight away, because the year before that, I remember talking to Justin in Edinburgh when he came to watch one of the youth team games. And I spoke to him. I was smiling, I was confident, and managers of football really like that. They like confident young players. So I think that's a big thing to be able to do. A lot of people, I got nervous when you first sort of meet the big managers, but you just have to believe in yourself and be confident around the players, and they'll respect you, and so will the managers.
What was your biggest sacrifice outside of football?
Sacrifice. I think I said earlier the way I used to eat. I'm quite skinny, but I did used to eat a lot of junk food and stuff, so I've had to cut down on that a bit. But, I think football was sort of my life anyway, really. So I was quite lucky that I didn't have to sacrifice too much to be where I am now, really.
Mentally and physically, how have you been coping with lockdown, and what have you been doing to keep match fit?
Mentally, I think at the start I wasn't too bad, really. I was keeping fit, going running every morning. now I'm getting it's getting a bit bored doing stuff on your own, but you've got to keep that mentally strong and keep going. Really, physically, I've been trying to do as much as I can. Running wise, I don't want to do too much, as everyone knows that. Well, no one knows what's going on just yet. So I'm just trying to keep myself ticking over, just maintaining my fitness really, and doing as much gym as I can to come back fitter and stronger whenever we do.
Most memorable game.
I think probably FA Youth Cup against Swindon at home. I think that's probably one of the best games I've played. In front of a decent crowd as well for an under-18 game. All the first team staff were there as well, which was good playing that well. And it's stuck with me really. It's been really memorable for me, scoring, and the team winning and getting through to the Arsenal game. So I think that one's probably stuck with me at the minute.
Favourite team?
Growing up, I always supported Chelsea. I think sort of the older I've got, the more I haven't supported a team. But I do still sort of follow Chelsea, and I was a Chelsea fan when I was younger.
What is it like mentally as a footballer?
Mentally?
Yeah.
It's quite... When I first came in, sort of as a first team player last year, pre-season, it is quite tricky. Doing sort of, 2 sessions a day. Obviously, physically, it's going to be really tough, but mentally, to be able to keep going, wake up in the morning. One day you might be feeling it, but the next day you won't. But you've just got to get through them days that you're not quite up to scratch, and that's what will benefit you in the long run. Being able to think that you can improve every day. I'm sure that will get you to where you want to be.
Like coming back with like us in lockdown and the coronavirus going on, do you think like when you come back the coronavirus will affect your game?
I think it will definitely have some sort of effect when football is back. The changing rooms, the shaking of hands in other players after the games and stuff like that. I hope it doesn't have too much of effect in the game and the fans, because that's what sort of makes football what it is. But I can't really say too much because I have no idea what will happen either. So I'm not too sure on that one.
How did it feel stepping out on the pitch for your first team debut?
First team debut, I remember that. It was a weird experience. Obviously, gone sort of 10 years playing on an Astro in a park in a field, and then going on in front of I think 5,000-6,000 people was quite a overwhelming experience. I remember sort of standing in the middle of the pitch looking around, and I don't think I remember being able to see the ball. I could just see fans in the background. So it was quite strange. But after that in the changing rooms, I remember the feeling now. It's probably the best buzz I've had before. So, and then games after that, it gets you get used to it slightly, but even still, it's still a bit strange playing in front of that many people. But as I said, you just have to have the confidence to do what you do in front of them.